Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us with the At Home with Charlene show live on Thursdays, KHTS on AM 1220 and 98.1 FM. We always appreciate you joining us and so happy to have you with us today. Looks like we're going to have a great hot weekend, so we're just going to get you in the groove for having a fun family weekend, and want to introduce my guest that we have on the show today, Jackie.
Hi.
With 40 Thrive. Glad to have you here
Thanks
today.
for having me, Charlene.
And every week we're always looking to try to give as much information as we can to help our entrepreneurs, to help our real estate agents in the business, and to help any self-employed business person, per se, help them get better with their business, with their marketing, with putting themselves out there, with being a little bit different, and just really trying to help catapult everyone's business. I think that's important.
That's awesome.
So how are you?
I'm good. I love that you do that because I think there are so many self-employed entrepreneurs in Santa Clarita, in the realtors and the mortgage brokers and just creatives. And so I think it's really great that you're elevating the valley in this way.
I think I just know that there's so many real estate agents from being in the business for almost 24 years now, and everybody is self-employed, and everybody has to figure out a way to have a niche for themselves and to make themselves different and to make themselves stand out amongst everybody else. That I was just talking to a new agent that I met at this last networking event, and she said she's a newer agent. She's been in the business about 6 months, and I said, "Well, what's your niche? What do you do? What do you do that makes yourself different?" She goes, "I don't really know." And I said, "But what's unique about you?" And she goes, "Well, I speak 4 languages."
Wow.
And I said, "Well, that is your niche."
Yeah.
I mean, that's your niche. You speak 4 languages. Let's market that to other people.
Right. You know what they say, the riches are in the niches.
That's right. Yeah. I mean,
people don't
everybody
realize
has a
they try
niche.
to please everybody, and that's not really where the marketing, that's not finding your unique self, so I love what you're doing.
Yeah, and keeping it simple. I think sometimes we want to get too creative with how we're going to be different, and what are we going to do with our business that's so unique and so out there. But really, it's just your true, authentic self. How are you different, and what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And, catapult on your strengths and help people help you where you're weak.
Right. Perfect. Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know. We try to do that every week. Try to help as many people as we can, and try to bring information that will help everybody. I always like to start off the show. I just wanted to give you a few statistics. In the last 7 days, we had 95 homes that came on the market, and we had 98 homes that sold. So basically what that's telling us is that inventory is steady. For as many homes that we have closing, we have that many homes coming back on the market. And as we get further into spring and summer, we'll probably start seeing a little bit more flux on that. And with people maybe relocating, or now that their kids are going to be out of school, they'll probably be more apt to putting their homes on the market. I saw something the other day that showed 4 days between May and June that were the busiest days of real estate. Thought it was interesting, but I didn't write down those specific dates.
Year to year, it's the busiest?
They were saying every year on these specific days, I think it was 2 in May and 2 in June, were the most days that the real estate market had most activity.
Wow.
Statistically, I guess. So
that's
I thought it was interesting. Yeah. I wanted to let everybody know too, we had talked about on a few previous shows some of the new developments that are coming in the area, and most of you probably have received this postcard that came in the mail regarding the Sand Canyon Country Club. This is going to be the single largest resort in LA. I believe they started opening their phases on April 17th. My presumption would be that they probably sold out whatever that phase that they were opening was.
Wow.
Very quickly. This is going to be the one that has 308, it looks like hotel room and villas, 25,000 square foot spa and sauna. There'll be 2 ballrooms, 8 meeting rooms, 4 restaurants, 9-hole executive, 3-pole golf course, 2 tennis, pickball courts, adult and kids swimming pools. This is all for the Sand Canyon Country Club.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
I mean, there's going to be just tons of new developments going on, and I know not everyone's happy about that, probably because traffic reasons.
Yeah, for sure.
That's probably going to have a little impact on our getting from the streets to the 5 and from the streets to the 14, but at
I
least
think
we're going to provide housing.
especially, people think that they're kind of sneaky when they take the 14. Like I know living in Saugus, my husband will take the 14 and there's constantly information, on the 5 things happening. And so he feels like he skates by it. The 5 has gotten worse and worse, and
Yeah,
now
he goes
14
around.
is joining.
Now
the
14 is
same.
following suit.
Yes, exactly. So,
So I have Jackie here, and Jackie's going to talk about some of the things that she does, some of the ways that she helps everybody in our community, and provide some of her experience she has, and it's just an interesting. I mean, you have tons of years in TV, right?
yes,
From when we
tons.
spoke.
Tons of them, it feels like 25 years in TV. Yeah.
So I think with social media and with the way that the market's going, it's going to be a lot of video. From everyone I've been talking to, it seems like social media is going to be all about posting videos and posting information that's of value. So how important do you think that's going to be?
Well, it's funny because that's like the buzz right now. So everybody is talking about how important video is, and it is. Don't get me wrong, but doing a video effectively is really not being discussed. And so not just turning on a camera and start talking, because have you noticed your feed is a little bit more, a little bit busier with video now, right? People doing
yeah.
Facebook Live and stuff.
You'll notice if somebody puts a video out there, how much more views they will have or how
Yes.
much commenting or interaction they'll have on that post versus just a post that might have a picture or just a verbiage.
Right, because Facebook wants you to use their live video, and so they're going to reward you by, keeping you up in the feed and showing more people. But what's important is you don't necessarily want somebody to come in and see your video and you're not doing it in a way that's effective or even entertaining, and so then they never come back. So it's not about doing video. We're gonna get you some water. Are you okay?
I know. Sorry, guys. I've been sick this week, and I knew it was going to be a rough one today.
I would give you mine, but I know. But so I guess my point is that you don't want to just, wow, the trend is video. Let's just do video and just throw it up there, because it will actually do more harm than good if
Right.
you don't know simple tips to actually tweak it and do a really great job.
Do you have some simple tips to share?
I do. And this weekend, and I know we're going to talk about it. My husband and I are running he's an editor, and he has shot many things in television as well, but he and I are putting on a workshop that I'll tell you about in a little bit. But, in the meantime, even just the way people hold the camera. So when we, especially as women, right, we hold the camera when we take our photo, and we hold it up a little high. We try to maybe lose the wrinkles or knock at the chin or for whatever reason. But when you do that with video, it's like you're losing the connection. So what's important about video is that you want to be connecting with the person on the other side, not talking like there are millions. Like you notice that every video that you watch is somebody saying, "Hey guys," like they're presenting. But video is really meant to be connecting and not presenting. And so you want to hold the camera like you and I are looking at each other right now at the same level. You want to hold the camera so you can connect with your audience on the same level.
So
not so
I'm
high,
looking at them,
not so
they're looking at me, sort of say.
exactly, and they feel like you are talking to them. Otherwise, you're presenting to like this like black hole, and they don't really care. There's no engagement.
So you're looking for connectivity
Exactly.
when you're doing a video.
Exactly. So, you can't connect with a photo, obviously, like too much. But when you're doing video, you want to know what that person on camera has to say to you. Like, I don't.
Yeah, because you feel like just on the show, you're listening in your car or at your office or wherever you may be, and you feel like we're speaking to you
Correct.
individually.
Because we are. Hello.
And you want to do the same thing with a video. You want to feel like that person's speaking directly to you.
Definitely, and especially somebody who's in your field and all of the different niches that come along with buying a home and selling a home. People are in a very vulnerable place when they're purchasing a home or selling a home. And so if you're going to give them information, they are, first of all, grateful for the information, but they want to be connected to you. When there are people out there who are doing video and they're just trying to get the masses, and that's fine for certain businesses, but I think in your industry, you really want people to feel comfortable.
Yeah, because they're choosing to do business with you as a person.
Correct.
And the length of time you've been in the industry, the experience you have, why they should be working with you, all of that is important. It needs to come out in a video.
Right. But
because
you may have
that's how they connect.
Absolutely. And you may have two people that are equal in experience. And when you come on video and you make them feel less worried, less, I mean, the whole process of buying and selling a house could have your head spinning. And if you make me feel like, oh, I can do this, then I'm going to choose you because you made me feel good.
Absolutely. I think the connectivity is where I choose to do business too. Mm-hmm. If I connect well with somebody and they make their point across, or they make it very clear why I want to do business with them, or am I asking somebody for a quote for something, or am I buying a car, or whatever it is. But I feel like if the other person is giving me enough information and they're being clear with what they're saying, I'm more apt to doing business with them.
Right. Absolutely. And the other thing too, I will tell you, is there are a lot of people turning on a camera before they've even thought about what they're going to talk about, and so they will get on the video and they just start babbling and like, I'm going to wait for more people. And then they greeting everybody who comes on and getting distracted. And it's, if you don't know who you are, what is your purpose and what is the purpose of this particular video before you start, you're going to lose people from the get-go. And they're not coming back. That's the thing too, that people don't understand. You can be on video and just like throwing it out there and hoping that but people aren't coming back. You've got one shot.
And I think with Facebook Live, people have to be very careful with that. Mm-hmm. Because I think if you're going Facebook Live for everything, people are going to lose interest. But if you're doing Facebook Live and you have meaningful information that you're sharing, it could be a vital asset to you. But I just think that people should choose that wisely.
Well, you need to have intention. And so maybe you are going every 3 days, but when people see you, they see that alert that you went live, they know it's going to be, impactful, it's going to have information, and then you'll be done.
Yeah, you want it to be noteworthy.
Right.
You want it to be of substance.
Right. But another mistake that people make constantly on Facebook Live, in my opinion, is that they'll start and they'll say, this is what we're talking about. And then they will literally be like, okay, so today I have such important, hey, Kimmy, so I have this really important information. Oh, Steve, and they keep interrupting themselves because they feel like they need to respond to every single person who logs on. Instead, my suggestion would be, hey guys, I am so happy you are here. I'm going to say hi to every one of you and answer your questions in just a few minutes. I want to just tell you this first and get that information.
Don't get sidetracked.
Don't go back and forth and feel like you're scattered, because if you feel scattered, you're making other people feel scattered, and nobody wants that.
I've been reading a book, and I thought this quote was not a quote, but it was an example of a piece of information that was in the book. And basically what it was saying was they made a reference to a car racer. Mm-hmm. So if you're, driving in the race cars and you're on the track, your goal is to get around that track as fast as you can and grab that checkered flag. That's your goal. So you're very centered and you're very focused on that task. And what the book was saying was, at one point when the car starts spinning out of control and you're going to lose control of that and you see that you're heading for the wall, don't look at the wall. You want to look to the side in which your car needs to go, because that is going to help you take the wheel and turn that car in the right direction. So I thought that was such a great analogy, because a lot of the times we always say we can't do this or we can't do that. And you put that wall up because that's what you're looking at. But if you're looking over to the side and you're looking at where you want to go, you can get over there. You just got to steer in that direction. I just thought it was a great.
Yeah, I love that.
It was such a cool analogy that I read that it just kind of stuck with me.
It's funny because, going further into that, when it comes to goal setting, people are constantly looking at the wall and then telling others how they can't steer the car because, look, the wall's right in front of me. And it's like, well, if you actually tweak your head ever so slightly, there's a whole open field and track. And it's like
Yeah,
we're so dedicated to looking at that wall
and
that
I
we can't,
think sometimes people might not intend to do this, but I think there'll be a lot of successful people, and there's a lot of people that don't want them to succeed or don't want them to keep getting better. But that's only because I don't think they're where they are, where they want to be.
Right.
Right. So they want to knock something else down or knock somebody else down. But what if you just looked to the side and saw where you needed to go versus why somebody else shouldn't be getting and going in the direction they're at? What if they just have a clear view and you don't quite have that yet?
Right. And I think it's interesting that you bring that point up because, it really is no competition when it comes to being successful. Like you don't take somebody else's light, like when, if you're in a room by yourself and it's all lit and I come in and it's still all lit for me and it's all lit for you. Like I'm not taking from you.
Everybody can, and this is no matter what business you're in, whether it's a real estate agent or a mortgage banker or, a small business owner or whatever it may be, everybody can be just as great. And you just have to know in your mind and put your heart and soul into it that you are just as good as somebody else and that you don't have competition because you are you.
Right. I mean, that's the thing is that the only competition is there when you think that you're the same as somebody else. But like you were talking about the woman who speaks 4 languages, you need to find what makes you special that only you can do.
I mean, look at if her and I were in the same, if her and I were both mortgage bankers and, she spoke 4 languages and I only spoke 1, she has a little advantage because she could go to a larger array of people. That's something that, you definitely should branch off of. So that's her niche. Mine might be something different.
Right. But, if you meet somebody who speaks Korean and she speaks Korean, you are part of their experience helping them find the solution.
Exactly.
So it's still, I mean, you may not get the commission on that particular, sale, but it still elevates who you are and all of the people that you are helping in your life.
I think there's more, I get more out of it helping somebody else than I do by benefiting from something myself. Like at Christmas or at holiday, I always love to give, and I'm not one that has to have my hands out in receipt of stuff.
Right.
I much rather be a giver than be a receiver. I don't know.
Then
I
I'll
think
give you my list in
Okay.
November.
You guys are listening to the At Home with Charlene show. I'm here with Jackie at 40 and Thrive, and we're just talking about businesses. We're talking about how we can help elevate you, how we can help in any way we can with future growth for yourself, and I just think that each week we try to add to that. And I know that we have, you have an event that's coming up that we'll get into a little bit later and we'll discuss that too. But what do you do in your business that is key to helping, individual owners or small businesses? What's key for you?
So, you mentioned 40 Thrive, and that's definitely something I'm passionate about. I run a community online and off for women over 40 looking for resources. But in addition to that, I am a creative coach. And so other business owners, entrepreneurs who are looking to learn how to podcast or do video or up their social media game and branding, I work with them to really help them find that niche, find that way, that thing about them that makes them special, because it's super hard to find it on your own,
Yeah, and sometimes you don't even see what your uniqueness is.
Right.
It takes somebody else to say, hey, you know what, you're really great at this, or hey, I think you would be excellent at this. And sometimes you don't necessarily see it.
Exactly. And then there are, a variety of ways that you can boost your influence and boost your expertise so people can kind of see you in that light. And so I use different mediums and to teach them how to do that.
We love it. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Don't go away.
Little Eye Leaders is the newest preschool in the Santa Clarita Valley. At Little Eye Leaders, our outstanding teachers lead with intellect, perspective, and heart. That means our programs provide a warm, nurturing atmosphere to meet the unique needs of each child. We believe that play is a powerful form of learning for young children. That's why our kids have every opportunity to learn through the magic and excitement of play. Parents, schedule a tour today by calling 303-0400 or online at littleeyeleaders.org.
Healthcare can be difficult if you're underinsured or have Medi-Cal. Samuel Dixon Family Health Center can help. Services are available on a sliding fee schedule. The mission of the Samuel Dixon Family Health Center is to give the Santa Clarita Valley access to affordable, quality primary care. There are 3 locations to serve you: Canyon Country, Newhall, and Valverde. Go to sdfhc.org for more information and to find the location most convenient for you.
MB2 Raceway, fast, high-performance kart racing at LA County's only indoor electric kart racing facility, and you're the superstar driver. Motocross legend and DEI driver Ricky Carmichael and Team Andretti Green's Brian Herta race in MB2 when they're not fighting it out for world championships, and so can you. MB2 Raceway, located between San Fernando and Santa Clarita Valleys, where the 5, the 210, and the 14 freeways meet in Sylmar. It's MB2 Raceway. Dial 1-866-986-RACE. That's 1-866-986-RACE. MB2 Raceway, where racers race.
Welcome back, everyone, to the At Home with Charlene show, live on Thursdays from 2 to 3 on KHTS 1220 AM and 98.1 FM. We always appreciate our listeners. We thank you for joining in with us every day, each week, and try to bring relevant information to you, and always try to bring the most we can to help you and your businesses, and talk about anything we could do with at home or how to better your home. And we hope we've accomplished that week after week. And I'm here with Jackie. We're talking with her. She's with 40 Thrive, and we're just talking about the importance of videoing and doing it right. And that also, I think there's so many people who are afraid of video. But I think that's something that we only put on ourselves because we criticize ourselves so much.
Right.
You know, if we didn't criticize ourselves so much and just said, hey, you know what, we're going to put this video out there. Don't worry about your hair looking such and such, or if you're I think we're just so critical that we just say, oh, forget it. We're not going to do it.
Right. And so, before the break, I was telling you about ways to do it right, but you were 100% spot on, because yes, you should take these steps to doing it in a more, effective way. But the most important thing is for you to be authentic. If you are, whatever your business is or whatever, you want to be able to show up that way. Just know that, this isn't millions of people. This is maybe your own Facebook friends or your community. Like, this is your opportunity to show them who you are and what you do and what you're an expert in.
I think that's one thing that I really try to do too, is have the relatability always there, that you are just like everybody else. You're a wife, you're a mom, you're a business owner or worker, and we all have the same goals. Everybody wants to succeed and achieve. There's not one person that says, hey, I'm going to get in business to fail, or hey, I'm going to get in business to do a terrible job. You get into business to say, I'm going to be great at what I do, and I'm going to be in business because I'm going to thrive, and I'm going to take my business to the next level. And that's truly, I think, what you want to express to everybody, is that is your intent. Right. And for them to relate to you on that.
I think definitely, but I think that it's important. You want to present yourself in a way that's positive. You don't want to get on camera and just start complaining. But it's okay to talk about challenges. It's okay to, as long as you are, authentic and real, and you're connecting with your audience, everybody goes through some of the same things. So maybe how you worked through things, how you have gotten to this next level, or something that's really challenged you, and looking out for support. There are ways, depending on what your business is too, there are really effective ways to share your story. That they say that there are a lot of people, and it's funny because with 40 Thrive too, it's like, I think in our 20s and our 30s, we spend a lot of time trying to hide from our story. And in your 40s and 50s and 60s, you're like, wait a second, that's actually marketable.
I think in your 20s and 30s, you might not have a clear vision of yourself.
Right.
Because you're always trying to adapt to what people want you to be, or where you think you should be. And then when you get into your 40s and 50s and 60s, I think you're just okay with where you're at. And you just kind of get the idea that I am who I am, and I'm going to have those that are going to like me, and I'm going to have those that don't. And I think you just become a little bit more acceptable of that.
Right. It's funny. I was reading recently, or somebody I was watching was talking about that. Like, it was somebody who was putting out a program. She's a very successful podcaster, and she was talking about when she gets hate mail. And she said, whenever I get hate mail, I know I'm doing the right thing because I'm actually, triggering people either positively or negatively, but at least they're not just existing. Like they're actually part of the conversation. They're making a decision to reach out to her and send her
And
these
I think
messages.
if you get a not so nice comment sometimes, it just makes you want to be that much better. And
Depending
it
on
makes
the
you want to work.
depending on the comment, sometimes.
Yeah, but I think you have to take it as a challenge because you can never decide how somebody else is going to interpret something, because your message could be as clean as day and from the heart, and it could be as true and authentic as possible.
Right.
But the way somebody else interprets it can be completely different.
Right.
And that may not have anything to do with me. That might just be, somebody else's way of views, and maybe their views are always negative.
Right. And that's the thing. There's always a little bit of something you can glean from it, right? So you can, hey, maybe there's a point here. Maybe I could do a little bit more of this or a little less of that. But at the same time, this is somebody on the internet who probably doesn't know you, who's, just using that to vent. So there's really a balance there between taking the notes and going, okay, I am going to improve, and also knowing that.
And I think sometimes what somebody will write in an email or write in a text, or that will put in a, behind the keyboard and be so aggressive with, it wouldn't be the same thing if they had you in person or on the phone.
Oh,
I guarantee you the
for
words
sure.
would be completely different.
Can you imagine walking into a party and telling somebody what you think, and then that person
No, because you can hide.
berating
You're
you?
hiding behind that keyboard. You're hiding behind that screen, and you're just thinking, okay, well, I'm going to say this and this and this. Well, if you were in person with them, would you say the same thing? You'd
Right.
probably handle yourself completely different.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. There aren't as many trolls in real life, or at least talking
The
to
internet trolling.
Exactly.
So, I know that you have a workshop coming up, and I think this is really great for real estate agents and small businesses to take advantage of, because I think a lot of people aren't sure about what to do, and they're not sure about how they go about doing things. But I mean, for example, just a few things you had mentioned here was 3 things to master before you even turn on a camera, how to position yourself as the go-to expert, how to craft and deliver your unique message. You also have how to best connect with your audience and what mistakes to avoid. That's
Right.
huge. And the subtle difference between video for your website, social and live streams, and then editing tips, tools to help you present material effectively. I think people maybe don't know what to do.
Right.
Or they don't know, okay, when I get behind the camera or I get behind, the phone and they're going to do a quick video, what do I talk about? Or what are people going to find interesting?
Yeah, and I think too that some people think, oh, I can't do video because I don't have a production crew. And Jeff and I have done that with full production, with clients. But at the same time, I don't think that most, and I'm not saying all, but I don't think most need a professional. That's why we do this DIY video course, because with a small investment in 3 hours, you can then go and take these tools and start to do your own videos, saving you, thousands of dollars. And, we show you with lighting and, technology, and likely you already have the equipment that you need. With phones these days, I mean, the quality is amazing. So just a little bit of lighting and also audio. People don't understand that you shouldn't be out in a windstorm and try to do a video unless you're doing a video on the windstorm.
Right,
That's
on the storm itself.
Exactly. So, but one of the other things that is fascinating that we talk about too is not everybody wants to do video, whether it's on their website or on social media, but maybe they do Skype calls. Maybe they do Zoom calls with their boss or colleagues or sales. And there are little tricks that can make you look more professional and put together, because I don't think people realize that, you wouldn't walk into a meeting with like your shirt untucked and, your pants unzipped, and just be like, hey, what's up? But yet they show up on video in a way that is not professional, and they're not making the sale and they don't know why, but it's actually like just a couple of little tweaks, and they would have much more professional video and be able to present themselves in a more positive way.
I just think it's so important to put yourself out there, because one, if you're not marketing yourself and you're not putting video out there, you don't have a connectivity. If you're not marketing yourself and you're not out in the public eye, nobody knows to do business with you.
Right.
if you're not out there and you're not known in the public and you're not, involved, then nobody knows to do business with you.
People need to be told what to do. And I don't mean that in a negative way.
Right.
But like, even when someone listens to a podcast, and this is what I coach a lot of my clients, that, when they're listening to your podcast and you're ending and you're like, all right, see ya. Like, they need to know what's next. Where do you need them to go? What do you need them to do?
And
what
most,
and then they do it.
and most people do well with direction.
Yes.
Because maybe it's just the fact of a list, or it's just something that you have to follow.
Right.
I'm great if someone says, hey, I need you to do X, Y, and Z. It's like, no problem. I got it. I think the hard part is when I have to decide, what do we need to do? Mm-hmm. Sometimes that's the trick, is like, okay, how do we need to, what do we need to do to get to whatever the goal is? Sometimes it's like, okay, if you do these things, you're going to reach your goal.
Right.
Okay, perfect.
Right.
It's easy.
Yeah. I think, people who are successful have structure put into place, and they also have accountability. So it's like creating that. That's why I love working with other women, like, and all these entrepreneurs and business owners, because when you create that accountability and that structure for them, they are unstoppable. Where somebody may be like, I can't do video, forget it. And then we work together and they're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then they love doing it because they learned the structure, and they're also accountable because I'm like, hey, where's your video this week?
Yeah.
And then they get to meet other people in the community who are doing the same thing.
Now, I know Tanya couldn't come on the show at the last minute, and
Boo.
she's with the Steamworks Center, but you were going to mention how the Steamworks Center actually helps entrepreneurs have a place to go and use for their business. And
yes. So this workshop on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. is in collaboration with Steamworks Center. So I met Tanya, I don't even know at this point. We had known each other through the community, but never in person. And I met her recently, and when I was doing a 40 Thrive event, and she was, Steamworks Center was one of the sponsors, and Tanya was also one of the speakers. And I found out and realized all of the things that she's doing for the Santa Clarita Valley.
So so our listeners can have an idea. So Steamworks Center is basically for small businesses, entrepreneurs who need a workplace.
Well, it does have so it's a co-working space. You can rent office space. You can go in, you can, pay for like 5 hours a month or 10 hours a month and go in and use the common areas or the kitchen, or they have a conference room, to rent out. But in addition to that, because you find some of those, I don't think any really in Santa Clarita. It's the only one in Santa Clarita. But really, more importantly than that, is the resources that they can provide. They have people there from all different types of backgrounds in social media or website development or technology that Tanya will connect you with in order to help you with your business.
And I saw that with Steamworks Center, I've watched a few videos of small businesses or entrepreneurs that have done like a 6-minute kind of presentation on their business.
Right. So every Wednesday morning, I believe it's 8 to 10 a.m., they have something called 1 Million Cups. And that's actually a national organization that Steamwork does in Santa Clarita Valley. And they feature 2 entrepreneurs of pretty new businesses. I think it's like under 3 years. I'm not exactly sure on that one. But they feature them on stage at this free coffee, Wednesday mornings. And they give them 6 minutes to talk about their business. And then the audience, which is also filled with entrepreneurs, asks questions of their business. So it's
what a better way
so great
for anyone who's new in business, 3 years or less, you said, with a small business.
Yeah, don't quote me on that. Something like that.
Let's just say somewhere around there. We'll confirm. But if you're a small business or an entrepreneur, maybe new in the real estate business or along those lines, maybe this is something that you look into.
Yeah. And at the very least, at the most, you can get up there, you can apply to present.
Or even come on a Wednesday, like you said, and see how it is.
Just go and connect with other people, other entrepreneurs and business owners, because it's really, you learn so much. And, as we talked about, so to go back to those people who are successful, right? They have structure. They have accountability. And then the third part of that is community. And so what they provide at Steamworks Center is that community and that support. So whether you're a new business owner or you've been in business for a long time, you're able to connect with other people and kind of talk about your challenges.
And you said that's every Wednesday.
That's every Wednesday from 8 to 10
So
a.m.
every Wednesday from 8 to 10 a.m.
And it's free coffee,
Center.
man.
free coffee, be an entrepreneur and watch.
Yep.
Or be an entrepreneur and maybe have the ability to present in front of everybody else.
Exactly.
Steamworks Center is on 28368 Constellation Road, Suite 360 in Santa Clarita. And the phone number over there is 661-505-8597 if you are interested or you want to do
You should
any
just go over
presenting
and check
there.
it out. Like,
You
reach
should-
out to Tanya and check the place
Yeah.
out. Yeah,
But what a better way to go and see how other people are presenting.
totally.
See how other people are doing it. See how they're presenting themselves and their business. Maybe you've been in business for years, but you want to see what other people are doing. Go watch.
Right. And
You
so
know?
that's why when we had the opportunity to do this video workshop on Saturday, I couldn't imagine anybody in Santa Clarita that I would want to partner with, because they care so much about helping entrepreneurs, build their business and grow their business, that we wanted to be just an extra support for those people who want to use video to do so.
I always think if you can better your own business and help other people better their business as well, what greater reward is that
Right.
than you growing and then you helping other people grow alongside you?
Well, look at, how many people you see, even just in, the strip malls around town or whatever, and you see another place empty, and it's sad, and you're like, oh, it could have been, what could have been?
And small businesses are probably thinking, we don't know where to go, or we don't know how to get started, or what do I need to do to get to the next level? Well, I'm hoping that my show at the At Home with Charlene show is providing some of that information. We're telling you things that you could do to better your business. We're telling you how you can, be better on social media, how you can do different things to really promote growth for yourself. And that's with anybody, with my real estate agents I work with small businesses that I have relationships with, with my own business, with all of that. You want to just really dial in and present yourself and get your name out there.
Right. Because, as you know, being an entrepreneur, especially a newer one, can be very isolating. And so if you're not connecting with other people and putting yourself out there in some way, it can be lonely. And that's when businesses fail, because they feel like they can be an island and do it themselves, when in actuality, how could anybody be expected to succeed if they don't have others around them supporting?
What would you say that a new business or a brand new real estate agent or a brand new person in business, what are a few things that they should do right away?
I think, wow, that's a great question. So I believe in anybody, whether it's real estate or another industry, is to know your competition. And I don't mean know your competition in oh, we're going to fight, kind of way, but know who's out there and who's doing it the way you find examples of what you respect.
Like people who've been there and done that ahead of you, or people who've achieved,
what you're looking
down
to
the
do,
road.
but who do it in a way that feels good to you. And also along the way, you'll notice that the way some people are doing it that doesn't feel good to you, and really understand yourself, what makes you tick, and like how you want to present yourself. Because I think those examples will be super helpful for you in building your own niche and marketability.
And in my opinion, I think the most important things for a small business or a new real estate agent or for somebody new in business is to make sure that you have proper branding, that you have professional photos, that you are keeping your look and feel of your marketing pieces consistent. So whether that's print marketing, that's social media marketing, business cards, all of that has to look and feel the same. You can't have a business card be red and blue and then have your social media all be in purple.
Right.
And then have your, something over here be in black. I just feel like you have to have a unison look to all your things.
Absolutely.
So you are noticeable, and if they see you somewhere, like, oh, God, I remember you. Where do I remember seeing you? Because all your marketing's similar.
And there are a lot of two things. There are a lot of industry or experts in this valley who can help you with that, and find that marketing, find that your color scheme, or your look is beautiful. I love your marketing. It looks amazing. But before that, before you invest, before you start to do those photos, know who you are. What is
Absolutely.
it that you want when somebody talks about you, right? This is marketing, right? When somebody talks about you and you're not, who you are and what you do when you're not in the room. That's your marketing.
Do
So
you
determine
know
what that is.
Do you know to create my logo? I mean, not everyone can see this unless you go back to my podcast or you look up at my Facebook pages, but my logo, I had to answer a series of questions. It was this whole thing that I had to do to decide how my logo was going to look.
Right.
And I really didn't even think about all of that. But it all played into the look and feel I wanted for myself. And same with my photos, my professional photos that were done by Lindsley Schleck with Schleck Art. She actually was asking a series of questions and, really engaging so that you present yourself in the best way you can.
Right. And I ask a lot of what people might determine as very strange questions when I work with somebody who's trying to elevate their brand online, because I think it's really important to understand where this person is coming from, what their challenges are, what they're great at, before you start creating a brand.
Most importantly, know what your strengths are.
Yeah.
And also realize what your weaknesses are, because your strengths are what you're going to leverage off of. And your weaknesses are what you're going to get help with.
Right.
That's where you reach out and say, hey, I'm not so great at recruiting, or I'm not so great at whatever this other may be. I need somebody to help with that part of it. I might be great at, follow-up and customer service. So just know what those strengths and weaknesses are. We're going to take a quick break. Stay with us. We're going to be right back with Jackie. Don't go away.
Why do people from all over Santa Clarita come to our spa in Canyon Country? Simple. They want the highest quality services at prices that everyone can afford. This is Rosemary from Beyond Harmony Med Spa. Read our reviews and know why we won the Ultimate Beauty Awards 2 years in a row by the readers of Elite Magazine. Come and see how close we really are and experience the level of excellence that our clients have loved for the past 13 years. Go to beyondharmony.com or call 298-8008 today for a free consultation.
Strawberry lovers unite at the 35th Anniversary California Strawberry Festival, May 19th and 20th in Oxnard. Ever tried a strawberry pizza or strawberry beer? Join the celebration on our expanded grounds with 50 food booths, concerts, rides, arts and crafts, and more. Admission is just $12 for adults and $5 for kids, with proceeds benefiting local charities. Get tickets now at castrawberryfestival.org to the California Strawberry Festival, May 19th and 20th.
Men, are you feeling tired, stressed, or just don't have the energy you used to? Did you know this could be related to decreased testosterone levels? Luckily, there's a safe, effective solution. Weeder Prime helps support healthy testosterone levels with clinically tested key ingredients. Just 2 capsules of Weeder Prime each day can help change your mood, energy, focus, body fat, and lean muscle. Feel the way you felt 10, 20, even 30 years ago. Rediscover your Prime with Weeder Prime. To find a retailer near you, visit WeederPrime.com. That's WEIDER Prime.com.
Good morning, honey.
Oh,
What happened?
Trump, again.
Now what?
Our Congressman Steve Knight doesn't do anything to stand up to Trump.
Well, then we need someone new in Congress.
Definitely. The election's on June 5th.
So who are you going to vote for?
Brian Caforio, without a doubt. In that voter info guide we just got, he's the only Democrat who says he'll stand up to Trump.
Let me see that. Oh, Caforio's a Yale Law School grad, and he clerked for a United States federal judge on the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. With that experience, he'll definitely hold Trump accountable when he breaks the law.
And he'll stop Trump's attacks on our health care, the environment, immigrants, and Planned Parenthood.
Well, it's about time.
Caforio's supported by dozens of local officials, even Lieutenant Governor Gavin Newsom.
I'm sold. Brian Caforio on June 5th.
Yep, Brian Caforio for Congress. Oh, June 5th can't come fast enough.
I'm Brian Caforio, Democratic candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
The College of the Canyons Nursing Program will be hosting a BSN Information Night on May 9th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. in the Santa Clarita Performing Arts Center. Looking to get into the nursing field? Want to earn your Bachelor's of Science in Nursing? Representatives from various colleges will be outlining their BSN programs, and students will share their experiences. Pathways from concurrent enrollment and registered nurse to BSN programs will be covered. All are welcome. Visit canyons.edu/nursing for details.
If you are at least 55 years of age and have a torn or irreparable rotator cuff, you may be eligible for a no-cost clinical trial at Southern California's Orthopedic Institute's Valencia Clinic. Call 818-901-6600 extension 1525 or visit rotatorcuffstudy.com to learn about a study of an investigational shoulder implant. Call 818-901-6600 extension 1525 or visit rotatorcuffstudy.com. Sponsored by Microair Surgical Instruments.
Welcome back. You're listening to the At Home with Charlene show every Thursday live, KHTS 1220 AM and 98.1 FM. We love our listeners. We thank you for listening to us each and every week. And we hope that we're always providing you with the utmost information on our local community, things that can help our local businesses, small entrepreneurs, self-employed, business owners, real estate agents, all the above. Anything we could do that we could possibly help growth in our community, we want to do it. I'm here with Jackie with 40 and Thrive today. And, you know, I was just thinking about, we always talk about business and those kinds of things, but I think one other thing that people need to really keep in mind too is what makes you you. You know, does your family, there's a lot of things that help run your motor, sort of say, as far as what motivates you. You know, is it because you're caring for a parent? Do you have kids at home? Are they going to be going to college? I mean, what really sets you up to try to do well with your business and your career?
Right. Well, it's funny because with 40 Thrive, I feel like women, once I was just on the phone with a client this morning who was talking about how she's turning 40 and she is kind of like, oh, she's got the kids and she loves her kids and she's got a great job and she is married. She's happy with her husband. She's like, I'm starting to get that itch of like, who am I? What am I doing? And so, and I said to her, like, I think you almost quoted our mission statement at 40 Thrive, because that's what we're doing. We're trying to, pull out what makes you you. Like, yes, we have the aging parents. Yes, we have the kids, or, you know, the jobs, the travel, whatever it is. But what is it inside you that makes you tick? What makes you get up in the morning and feel good about yourself? Or what is something that you've always wanted to try or to do? And I think we tend to live our lives, especially in our 30s, maybe taking care of a lot of other people. And that I feel like 40s, 50s, 60s and beyond, we're now at a place where we can rediscover.
I mean, especially parents, we're putting ourselves on the back burner. If you have kids that you're putting through school, or, you know, you would do for your kids before you did for yourself.
Of course.
That's how we think as parents. And it's like when we come back and we think about businesses and we think about what we need to do for that, it's like you really have to dig inside and think, okay, this is about me. This is about the business that I'm doing, and this is about the projection I want to be making. And I think sometimes when you think about your family and you think about the reason why you do things, it helps clarify.
Definitely. I mean, the question, the best question you can ask yourself is why, when you go into any business or when you go into a creative endeavor, because it's so important to understand every day, because you're going to wake up one day and be like, I don't want to do this. I'm exhausted. I'm burnt out. But when you remember why you are doing it, and I don't just mean the kids, I don't just mean for their college fund, but truly within yourself, why you are doing this. Maybe it's to make an impact in your community that will last long after you're gone. But for many of us, it's to find significance. It's to find meaning in our own lives. And I think it's really important to kind of dig deep a bit and to know why we're doing things, because that might be the only thing that keeps you going.
Yeah, and I think for my business with myself, it's like I want to put everything that I have into helping a family achieve their biggest financial purchase. And I just think if you succeed at that, then in turn you'll work with their friends and you'll work with their family, because you'll have shown to them that you truly want that for somebody. You have it and you want to give it to somebody else.
Right. You're not just buying them, a building to live in and to put a sofa in.
It's a home.
It's a home, and it's their memories, and it's really one of the most important purchases you can make. And so for you to be able to be there for those people in such a vulnerable time, you're making much more of an impact than just housing them.
And you always have to think in your professional business, whatever that may be. You're the professional. You have the knowledge. You have all the experience. You have the years of doing it, and somebody else doesn't. So they come to you with the trust that with the years and the knowledge and the experience you have, that you are going to put them in the best position for their situation.
Right.
You know, whether it's a single person buying their first home or a large family, you know, whatever it may be, is if you know what their situation is, you could better direct them with your experience.
Absolutely.
Just like with the people that you work with. You know, if you know what their situation is, you know what their goals are, it's better for you to direct them in what they need to do.
Right. But have you ever noticed that too when you are working with people, that they think they want one thing because that's what they've been taught or that's what they've been programmed to believe, and then after you unravel it a little bit, you see that that's not what they want at all, and then you could truly help them with the thing that they really want.
You know, I have to just give a quick shout out to my coach, Coach Ron Tunick. He is the one that got me involved with the radio show. He's been a business coach with me. And if it wasn't for him, I don't think I would have made some of the steps I've made and made some of the discoveries I've made without his direction. And I think sometimes when somebody else has been there and has made such success, and they open up your eyes to seeing things a little bit differently than how you've always seen them,
Right.
then it's sometimes the light turns off or turns on, and you're just thinking, wow, you know what? I never thought I would be over here, or I could do this, you know, and then you open it and you're thinking, I can do that.
Right.
Of course I
being
can.
coachable is the number one thing that you can do for yourself.
We talked about that the other day.
Yeah.
If you are coachable, then you can be directed and you're open to taking in that criticism or that step to the next direction.
Because you can only move in the direction, like you can only believe what you have seen before,
Right.
you know? And so to have somebody else maybe uncover things that you never knew existed.
And look to people in your sphere of influence.
Right.
And have those people direct you, people that you look up to, like we said, people who've been there before, people who have made those achievements, take direction from them, figure out what they've done.
Right. Mentorship is key. I mean,
yeah.
most people want to help. So just ask, you know, if there's somebody in your industry who is, you know, further along and you want to buy them a cup of coffee, just ask them. Tell them what you admire about them. Tell them what it is that you have noticed, and just ask for a little bit of
And
feedback.
that's so true, because we don't always tell everybody, you know, like, Cody, you're great at helping with the radio show, or, you know, these people are doing a great job for you every time you see them. We don't always say that. We
Right.
don't always say how great somebody is. You know,
Right.
we don't really say that. We just assume, oh, they're doing great, and oh, they're having a great day. But no, maybe they're not. Maybe
Yeah.
we need to let them know, hey, you're amazing at what you do. Hey, you've helped take me to the next level, and you've really inspired me. We need to say that more often.
Yeah, and being specific with the impact that they have made so they understand what they're doing that's right or that's helpful is huge. And it only helps them, and then they want to help you.
Yeah. I think that's great too. I think we had a great show. I think that the information that we always talk about and the true heartfelt way that we want to help people is always just doing the best we can. And I hope everybody out there that's listening, you further your business even more, and you take risks, and you learn to do things that maybe you didn't do before. Tune in next Thursday, and we will have a great show ahead. Thanks for tuning in.